Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV, Community Focus on Washington County. And it is a pleasure to have with us today Annie Boone Roughton, who is a school teacher at North Washington. And that's just one of her jobs. And she is a breast cancer survivor, and whom we wanted to talk with after October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So welcome, Annie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we've been trying to do this for quite some time.
Yeah. Schedules haven't coordinated very well.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah. So, and I know you just came from school.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now, tell me what at North Washington Elementary you are. What grade do you?
I am 6th grade social studies and 8th grade science. So I have middle school now. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, those middle schoolers.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then your 3 children, are they at 2 or at St. Dominic?
All 3 are there now.
All 3 at St. Dominic
in
now?
school now. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have Thomas that's in 5th grade, and Anna is in 3rd grade, and Lucas is in kindergarten now. So all are in school. Everybody's busy.
Well, my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. And and of course your husband, Scotty, works for the Springfield Water Company.
Yes. Yeah.
And we appreciate him.
Oh, yes.
Because I know he's been out on some runs lately.
Yeah, they stay very busy, well, especially this time of year. Temperatures getting colder, and I always ask him, would you prefer the really hot summer or the cold winter? And he said, when it's hot, you can get cooled off, but when it's cold, it's hard to get warmed back up. So, but yeah, they stay pretty busy this time of year.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Scotty Roughton, and the water company employees for the work that you do, because you work really hard.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And we appreciate it. So, and you never know, Scotty might be called out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, not right now, though. He's with kids. So.
Yeah, so we're glad of that. But, Annie, I think about that, and with Scotty working, and then you being diagnosed with the breast cancer. Now, how long ago was that?
It's been about 5.5 years. It was in April 2014 that I was diagnosed, and so.
You were how old?
I was 32. Mm-hmm. No family history, no health history of my own. So just, and I was pregnant at the time, so just a complete shock to all of us. Just a very, I guess, unique situation, but everybody's story is very different. Everybody, has their own unique story to it whenever you are diagnosed. So nothing real special about mine, but.
Well, it just makes you realize that you don't, have to have any history. You don't have to be, older. Who would think a 32-year-old, young, healthy woman like you, who's been so active, plays ball, always going, always moving, would, ever be diagnosed with something like this?
Yeah, it was very, like I said, very, very much a shock, very strange for all of us to just kind of hear the news and to believe it at first. Like you said, I always played ball my whole life, very, always energetic and athletic, and no history whatsoever. I did, however, request while I was going through the treatment to get some genetic testing done. And there was a less than 1% chance that I would have a genetic mutation, but I did. And so basically what that means is it's a BRCA1 mutation. And to my knowledge, everybody has a BRCA1 gene, and the job of the gene is to protect the cells from mutating. Well, if you have a gene mutation, your cells don't work like they're supposed to. So you are at higher risk for breast and ovarian cancer, and then elevated risk for some other cancers. So since I had that, not knowing that I had the gene mutation, being young, that's what caused it in the beginning, but very lucky that we were able to find it early and do surgery and treatment, and I'm here to talk to you today. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so then because of the type of cancer, because of that mutation now, and I don't know if they recommend this with all people who have had breast cancer. Is it a routine, or is it just in particular cases to also have a hysterectomy?
With the gene mutation that I had, you know, you're at high risk for ovarian cancer, which is very hard to detect. There's no good screening for it. Not like a mammogram would detect breast cancer. Ovarian cancer is very different and much harder to detect and much harder to treat. So they do recommend, in my case, since I knew I had the gene mutation, I knew that I'd already had cancer once, they did recommend to go ahead and have the hysterectomy and remove ovaries and all of that to prevent future
Any
cancer.
type of cancer
Right.
cancer coming back, or but so that's not with every breast cancer, or it's just in particular with that mutation.
It probably varies. There's, believe it or not, there's many different kinds of breast cancer.
Right.
I didn't know that until I, had to do some research. So they're all a little different. That's just, how my case went. I'm not real sure how with the others, but there's got to be something that's feeding it, and sometimes it's hormones that's feeding the cancer, or a protein type of that I had. But in my case, that was the route they wanted me to take. I'm not sure with all the different types, but I think usually that's kind of the story with most people, is that they go on with those surgeries.
Well, they certainly are making, I think, lots of improvements with, cancers. I mean, it's like the survival rate has dramatically increased for all kinds of cancers,
Yes. I know the type that I had, when they test you, they test for different things. The type that I had, I remember my cancer doctor saying, 5 years ago, we didn't really have a treatment for this. This was a very aggressive type, and but I was able to take a medicine or a treatment for a HER2 positive type of breast cancer. And, this was 5 years ago that he was saying, 5 years before that, there really wasn't a medicine out, and now they do have that. It's a preventive chemo to help, prevent the recurrence of the cancer coming back. But even just in that short amount of time, there's already been, I read a lot, you got to be careful what you read, but I read a lot about new things coming out for prevention and treatment, and so hopefully, we'll keep progressing in that area.
Yeah, seems like all the time. I'm like you. You're reading things about it, and you went through chemo and radiation both, didn't you?
I did not have to do radiation.
Oh, you did not. Okay.
I did six treatments, 6 of the chemo treatments, like the heavy chemo treatments, and then I had to do, which is about 6 months, and then I had to do a year's worth of the preventive chemo. But the preventive type of chemo, my hair came back, I felt better. It was more like internal, what was going on. You didn't see a lot of the side effects of it. But it was about a year's worth of treatment that I had to go through.
Did you feel badly in that year with the preventative, or?
No, I mean, there's some side effects that can come later, because you're putting a lot of things in your body that it's not used to. So they do tell you, for example, heart disease is one, so they do routine checkups of the heart and things like that. But as for the preventive, no, I don't remember really feeling that bad. Once you get past the big bad chemo, everything feels better. So
yeah, you might not have still felt well,
right,
but you
it was
wouldn't
better.
have known the difference because you felt so badly before.
Right, yeah, it was much better than before. Yes. Yeah.
Because, like you say, the big bad chemo is really,
Yes.
really hard on your body, and I know you did not feel well then at all.
Right. Yeah.
And you were trying to take care of those children. Of course, you're
Yes,
lucky
yeah.
to have lots of supportive family.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Marilyn and Teddy, your parents, were there, I know, a lot.
Oh yes, I was very blessed. I had, of course, my husband and my parents, my sisters, family, friends, a lot of people supporting us in many ways. And I mean, it was hard with 3 kids, but they were young. They didn't know what was going on, and they showed no mercy. I was still mom. They still expected the most out of me. So, but that's what kept me going. So it was hard, but it was good too.
Yeah. Well, you're a tough little thing anyway, Annie. So probably that just gave you even more determination.
Oh yeah, that's literally what got me out of the bed every morning. I had to get up and take care of them and get them going. But it was a good motivation to have.
Yeah. And I think, in my opinion, from other in situations like this, people's attitudes and their, determination and just I don't know, bullheadedness, maybe you want to call it.
You know me. She's known me for a long time. Well, we won't get into the stories, but I'm pretty stubborn. I'll admit it, and I'm very competitive. So you have to have a good attitude going in. Of I'm going to do this. It's not going to get the best of me because it is hard. And also too, I had to have help from other people, so I had to have a good attitude so that they would have a good attitude. We all had to work together. I knew that the people around me, it all really kind of depended on the way I acted and the way that I took on the journey. And I knew that if I was positive and I tried to keep it light, and it made it easier for everybody around me. So yes, attitude is a big part of the journey.
Yeah, that's an important aspect. Because that certainly does make it. Everyone wants to help, and it's hard enough. I mean, because sometimes you don't even know, how to help,
right?
Or what to say. Do you have any ideas or suggestions on that, Annie?
As far as helping others,
yeah.
You don't know how they feel if you've never really gone through it. Just trying to, I use humor. Everybody's different, so just trying to keep things light and just keep talking, keep checking in, even when they don't feel like talking. Just a simple text or a phone call. Hey, how's it going today? Or hey, I saw this and this was funny. Just any kind of little thing, just letting them know that you care, you're thinking about them. I did my treatment at Flagey Cancer Center, and I believe they had programs there when I was going through the treatments of support groups and things like that were helpful. I attended one once that was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of like a makeover day. So you came and there was a lady there that was also a survivor, and she came and she handed out free samples of like makeup and shampoos, and although we didn't really need the shampoos at the time, but I guess it was for people that were getting ready to go through the journey or were finishing up, and they were they really promoted staying positive and just doing your regular routine. Don't let it stop you. Just don't feel sorry for yourself and say poor me. Get up and go on and do your normal stuff. And so I remember going to one of those, and I think we did our makeup or something that day. I can't remember exactly what they did, and they brought lotions and different things. Just something that you could be in a room with other survivors and not really have to talk, not be at the hospital to talk about what's going on, just doing something different and fun. And I believe they still have those programs. And
making you feel kind of, quote, normal.
Yeah, in a way, normal.
I mean, like, you know, this is just fun and stuff that everybody, you know, likes to do. We all like to do makeup and
and and the ages were very different. Most of the time I was the youngest person in the room, but sometimes there were other young people there, and but it was nice to just be around other people. Something else I think that's important is if you're diagnosed, find someone that's been through the journey before, and call them, text them, whatever, because you're going to have questions. your body's going to start to do things that you've never experienced before, and especially with surgery and treatment. So I had people that were contacting me that I didn't even know. They knew me through, friends or family, and but it was nice to say, hey, I took treatment last week, I'm starting to feel this way, or I have surgery, what should I expect? And that was probably the most helpful, because everyone else around you, they don't really know what you're going through, and so it was nice to be able to talk to someone that had been through it, just to ask those questions, because they know, oh yeah, that happened to me, do this or try this, and and I try to do that with people that I know that have been diagnosed. I try to reach out to them and call me, text me, or whatever. I'd be glad to answer your questions, because it is helpful to talk to somebody that's been through it before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good point. Very good point. And do you have any recommendations on how people I'm sure they tell us, to do women, and I assume men too, to do, self-check exams monthly.
Right. Yeah, I would think that would be for, really any person. Anybody can get breast cancer. Most often it's women, but men can also get breast cancer. Yeah, do your self-checks. I just happened to find mine by accident. Mine was, I had a tumor that was a little bit lower than my collarbone right here, and I just happened to be going like this, and thought, well, that feels funny, and let it out. Honestly, I didn't do anything about it right then. It was probably a couple months later that I was actually at the doctor for the baby, and, oh yeah, will you look at this, take a look. So anytime you feel, if you're doing your self-exams, if you feel anything different, if anything just doesn't feel right, go get checked out, because you never know. Hopefully it's nothing.
And don't wait, probably.
Yeah, don't wait, yeah.
Yeah, because you just don't know anymore. You just don't know.
Yeah, and it really, like you said, it doesn't matter the age, male, female, it can happen to anyone. So take it seriously.
And then, of course, Annie, you probably weren't even doing mammograms then.
Oh, no.
Because you don't start mammograms until you're how old?
I believe if there's no family history, I believe it's 50.
Is it 50?
Or it might be 40 now.
I think it's 40.
Yeah. I know if there's a family history, it's definitely 40.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't have any reason to believe, anything different. So, but yes, if you get to that age, it's if you get to feeling like, oh, I don't want to go get a mammogram, it doesn't sound like fun or whatever, do it anyway. Set aside a day, make a day out of it. Go get your scans, and then go shop or go out to eat or do something that you enjoy, because trying to make it a point to make it important. Make it an important event.
Yeah. Well, so whatever age it is, 40 or 50, I'm not sure, but and I don't remember. That goes to show you how old I'm getting. But I know you're supposed to get them yearly, and I think for a little while they were saying maybe you could, do it. They were recommending maybe every other year, and I thought, no.
Yeah, I think
women need to have it every year.
Yeah, I know. It seems like it was one age, and then they changed the age, and I think it was all due to the exposure to the radiation. They don't really want you to be exposed to the radiation that often. Again, that's something to discuss with your doctor. We don't know the exact amount, but definitely get your checkups, and definitely ask. At whatever age you are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, get your yearly checkup and talk with your doctor about it. But, and of course now, the mammogram machines and, gosh, all these machines now are using less and less radiation. And so that's a good thing. Yeah. And so any other information, Annie, that you would like to share in any part of this treatment and that you went through and your whatever?
I think, like I said, if you're going through the journey, attitude is a big part of it. Try to stay, as positive as possible. It's hard, but try to stay positive. Let people help you. Like I said, I was very stubborn. I'm very much, I can do it on my own, but this was one of those situations I had to let people help me. And then, if you're a religious person, seek your religious leader, speak to them. Father Pepper, I spoke to him a lot during my journey, and that helped me. That made me feel at peace. And then maybe find another survivor that you can talk to, because they've been there, they've been through it. I'd be glad to help anyone if you want to contact me. It does make it easier to talk to someone that's been through it. If you have a family member that's going through it, try to be patient. Their emotions are going to be up and down and all over the place. Some days they may not feel well. Just try to be as supportive as you can, but try to understand that it's something that they don't understand either. They don't really know what's going on. So,
that's a very good point.
And to get your checkups. Get your checkups every year.
Yeah. Well, gosh, Annie, this has been a lot of good information, really. And I guess with anyone that is sick it's devastating. Nobody wants to be sick. And then, of course, the family members, need to be as patient as you say, or the caretakers have to be as patient as can be, because I know just like when my own mother was sick, and I think sometimes I wasn't as patient as I should have been, and and that so I think that is wonderful advice, because we all need to be patient with our loved ones and our friends and family, and with everyone that is going through something like this, going through cancer or any other type of illness.
Right.
So I really appreciate you saying that, and I would hope that my kids would do the same for me, Annie.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
So, but I want to thank you very much. And so how long has it been now?
About 5.5 years. So I reached the 5-year milestone.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
And so it's, let's see, it was April. It's about 5 years and 7 or 8 months, something like that. So
yeah,
almost to the 6-year mark. So every year, every year is like a new birthday. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you are dear to me, to my heart, being my little neighbor there and running around my house. And
I think I spent more time at your house than I did my own most of the time. But yeah, it was a good childhood.
I think the neighborhood did.
Yeah, it was a good childhood.
Well, it was kind of right there in the middle of it, of all of everybody. So, and it was always fun having the kids there. You're all just so grown up. I can't believe it. And now you've got those 3 children yourself. So I just want to thank you for being here today, and appreciate the good information.
Yeah.
And give my best to Scotty and your parents and
thank
those
you.
cute little children.
Thank you.